Good morning. My name is Nhi. I'm a student of Bachelor of Early Learning. I have been working in the nursery room of a long daycare center. Um, Today I would like to talk about messy plays and its benefit for the children under 2 years old. The question of the research is what benefit of messy play for the children from 12 to 20 months old. Um, Firstly, I want to talk about the reason behind this research. The reason I choose to do this research project is message play seems to be an undervalued and under researched. Um, it's also the underused form of play as many educators are unaware of its significant benefit. Through my own research into the literature of massive play, I found there were many subjective benefits of massive play. The following key findings were identified in the children developmental area, including social skill, cognitive, sensory, communication, and physical development. Secondly, I would like to talk about my methodology for this project. So the research took place for 2 weeks in my nursery room. All the experience was set up either indoor and outdoor of the room. A range of message play experience were provided with support the children, sensory and other developmental area. The children in the research project who aged from 12 to 20 months old, they participate into the research with the permission from their parents. During the project, I used a range of strategy with intentional teaching for the experience. For example, I cooperate with other educators in the room to minimize any potential risk to the children. The natural material was used in the experience such as water, sand, play, shell. Intentional teaching strategy are used during the project such as modeling, encouragement, open-end question. With the data collection, I used the observation, anecdotal note, taking the photo of the process to show how the children explore and multiply the material. So this is a sample. The photo show up the food painting experience. From this example, I want to mention about the sensory development. It was notable that some children were at first apprehensive about interacting with the material, even to the point of not engaging physically at all, but instead of choosing to look and not to touch the material. For example, Joey, she's very sensitive. She expressed her confusion and fear of the sticky texture. However, with encouragement from her educator, by sitting next to her and use the model play, she slowly willing to touch and explore the group. Once she got used to the texture, she engaged in the experience with her peer. The next one is about social and emotional development. It was particularly notable that the children enjoyed the experience of massive play. It was highly evident through their facial expression, gesture, and body language. At the other time, They smile in the more subtle manner when the new experience was had. The children was more than willing to spend time exploring the material and were able to try out new things and ideas. None of the children expressed a wish to withdraw from experience. Um, I found the children very excited and so engaged in the experience, and the it take the time of experience, it take longer than I expect. With the cognitive development, I observed that some children participate in experience using different learning skills, uh, such as manipulating the material. They were also able to observe the cause and effect of the action while also learning the new concept from their educator. They were able to notice the differences and the similarity of the object they were creating by using different tools and material. Physical development, um, all the experience I provide for the children is promotes their either fine motor or gross motor skill. The message play experience were contrasted to suit the state of physical development of the younger children age. For example, with the footprint painting, the experience is suited for the children when they start learning to walk, or even with the child 12 months old, they are able to grow in to enjoy the experience with paint. So you can see in this photo, some children they may be not able to walk yet, but they happy to sit down and just using their hand to touch the pen and create their own their idea. Um, this is another example of the group play when the children and to engage in the experience. Um, they not only engage in the group, but they also use the other material to develop their imaginary and creative. The children show their imagination and creativity in multiple ways. These include tasks that involve movement, verbal and non-verbal language while use manipulating object and material. For example, child aids make a movement and sound the dinosaur when mixing water and sand, like make the dinosaur jumping and roaring in the mud. Child K have a long piece of the clay after she rolled it and pretend it's like a snake. However, most of the children need some modeling to encourage their imaginary play. Once they have observed this behavior from the educator, they were able to mimic this play form and participate accordingly. So I just went through all the developmental area that shows some benefit of messy play in this research project. Through my own observation during messy play at my nursery room, I have seen that a parent's benefit of messy play, and I wish to investigate further the such case benefit in the long run. Why traditional structured play have value for young children? There is a play for massive play activity as it gives children opportunities to learn and develop holistically in ways other form of play may be not. With the knowledge of massive play should hold a place in an early childhood curriculum, it is then essential that the educator are well informed of the method and strategy of using massive play to ensure its delivery as a learning tool in the most effective way. Thank you for listening.